So a common question I always get is whether I really need an estate plan. That's a common question I get. Like, do I really need one, right? So usually I have people ask these questions to themselves, and that'll determine whether you need an estate plan, right? Do you own real property, right? If you own real property, you need an estate plan. Do you have more than $166,250 in other assets? Any assets? Okay. Do you have
retirement?
Anything,
car,
right?
Jewelry.
Do you have minor children, right? And you're thinking about, if I died tomorrow, who is going to take care of my minor children? Not my in-laws, right? So that's something to consider. Do you want to control where your assets go when you pass away? Right? Maybe you don't want your children to get it. Those good for nothing children. I want it to go to charity. I want it to go to one child over the other. I have a plan.
There's nothing wrong with that either. Warren Buffett is doing that.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's your money. Do what you want with it.
Absolutely.
It's what you want to do with it. And are you over the age of 18? So if you answered yes to any of those questions, you need an estate plan. Whether you need a trust or not is a different question. So everyone over the 18 should have the bare minimum of, a will, a power of attorney, and a healthcare directive. That's your incapacity plan. If something happened to you and you're off at college, who's going to be making your health decisions? Mom or dad can't do it anymore because you're an adult, right? Something like that happens. You're driving and you get in a car accident. Who's going to be paying your bills until you're out of the hospital, right? When we're able to travel again, who's making those decisions?
I've heard those stories where kids are off at college and they get in an accident and they don't have a healthcare directive.
Everyone's panicking, right? What do you?
Yeah, what do you do?
You just assume that parents can make these decisions. Still, you come home, you're still living at home. It doesn't work that way anymore because you're an adult. So you maybe don't need a trust, right? You don't own real property. Everything's in a bank account or a brokerage account, right? It's your first job. You don't need a complicated trust, but you need a plan, some sort of a plan. So I'm not going to oversell you and say, hey, you need this huge thing. But if you have real property, you have to have a trust, because it's the only way. It is the absolute only way you can pass your house to your children or your heirs or whoever you're leaving it to in the state of California without triggering probate. You're not going to find a home, or especially around here, that's less than that $166,000 value. You're just not going to. So that's why I'm just saying you have to have a trust. And so then you get to have all these fun, uncomfortable conversations about who's going to manage it for me, who's going to inherit it. That's the easiest part about just, coming to the office and starting it, or, attending a webinar, the free webinar. We have that on our website. Having both the parent and the child attend so that everyone sort of understands what's going on. You can all be part of the conversation. It's better to have one than not, for sure.